Hello, let's take a look at our probability work from last time. I recommended in my previous video that reading through this helpful information would be beneficial to you and make things a little bit easier for you to analyze, and hopefully you did that. I'm going to be introducing a way of writing, the correct way of writing probability in this problem as well. So when I take a look at this one, the probability of picking an ace from a standard 52 card deck is, and we're going to be writing like this: the probability with a capital P of getting an ace equals 4 out of 52 possible cards. For letter B, the probability of not rolling 3 is or equals 5 out of 6. 5 possible answers out of 6. The chances of a thumbtack landing with its point up or on its side is one that I really struggle with, and other people would struggle with coming up with a theoretical probability for that one. So we're going to put a no for that one. Letter D, getting one red crayon from a set of 8 different color crayons. Well, again, the probability, capital P, of getting red is 1 out of 8. And the likelihood that you will run out of gas on a long car trip, again, not one that we can really come up with a theoretical probability for. So we're going to write that, leave that as a no. All right, let's move on to the next part of our assignment. And we are going to be moving into a problem where we are looking at a bag that has 10 marbles in different colors. And when they talk about drawing a marble, what they mean is they're taking a marble out of the bag. So you have taken a marble out of the bag, recorded the color, and replaced it 50 times with the following results: 9 purple, 16 orange, 6 yellow, and 19 green marbles. Make a prediction for how many marbles of each color are in the bag. Show all of your work or explain your reasoning. All right, so let's take a look. We've got 9 out of 50 were purple, and orange was 16 out of 50. Yellow is 6 out of 50. And green is, or was, 19 out of 50. When we're thinking about probability, a lot of times we will think about it as being out of a whole, or, and when we're thinking about a whole, that's one whole thing. Another way of thinking about a whole thing is 100% of something. So when I'm taking a look at these, all of these fractions have a denominator of 50. Knowing what I know about changing fractions into decimals and percents, I could use my giant 1 multiplying and get 38 over 100. So I would guess, if I'm scaling this ratio up to 100, I would guess that there would be 38 green. If I do the same thing here, I end up with 12 over 100. Kind of squishy there, but that happens sometimes. For this one, I put my giant 1, I fill it up with a fraction with 2 on top of 2, and that ends up being 32 over 100. And then this one, same thing, I put my giant one, I fill it with 2/2 fraction that's equivalent to 1, and I get 18 on top of 100. So as you see, we went back to something that we learned way back in our first chapter of our 6th grade material to solve something in our 7th grade book. And the next problem is a fair number cube with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is rolled. What is the probability of getting an even number? Well, 2, 4, and 6 are even, so that would be 3 out of 6. So and I'm going to rewrite that the correct way. The probability of getting an even number equals 3 out of 6. The probability of getting a factor of 6, well, it's a little harder. 1 is a factor of 6, 2 is a factor of 6, 3 is a factor of 6, and 6 is a factor of 6. So I've got 4 numbers circled up here. Again, I read this, the probability of getting a factor of 6 is 4. And then down here, we've got our intervals. And when we're taking a look at our intervals, we're trying to make sure that we are skip counting, as you read up there, so that we are able to tell an accurate story of our data. I believe for this one, this is where I like to start because it's the easiest one. When I'm looking what might be between there, it makes sense to me that that would be 80, 40, and 20. So my intervals are by 20. This one, I need to figure out, there are 3 places down here. So could this be 40, 20? That doesn't work. Could this be 15, 30, and 45? That does work. So this is going to be 15, 30, 45, and I add 15 to 60 and get 75. This one over here is the next easiest one for us. What is halfway between 100 and 0? That would be 50. And I have 50 as my interval, so I'm going to skip count by 50. And then this last one, I've got 3 portions here, and I know that and actually I've got 4 portions, 1, 2, 3, 4 portions, and if I portion 100 out into 4 equal parts, I'm going to have 25 in each, so I can skip count by 25 for this one, and we get 125 at the very top.